Hello students, this is Mathura, PGT Biology, Ponvidyashram, Kolapakam. Welcome back. We were in the Unit 1 Diversity in the Living World. In that we have finished the first chapter, the living world. Now we are moving to the second chapter, that is biological classification. So what is biological classification? Biological classification is the scientific procedure of arranging organisms into groups and subgroups on the basis of their similarities and dissimilarities and placing the group in a hierarchy of categories. So this is a scientific procedure in arranging the organisms based on their similarities and dissimilarities. What is the importance of classification? Why classification is needed? It is not possible to study every organism. Study of one or two organisms of a group gives sufficient information about the essential features of the groups. So, it is not possible to study each and every organism present in the world. So, this classification enables us to study the whole group of organism by just studying a single species. It helps in identification of new organism. It helps in the identification of new organism. Classification helps in knowing the relationship amongst different groups of organism. It helps in knowing the relationship, how it is similar with the other organism. We can come to know from the classification system. The organism of past cannot be studied without a proper system of classification. So, the ancient organisms which is not present now and the extincted organisms, their behavior, characters and morphology, genetic impression, everything cannot be studied with a proper system of classification. So, coming to the types of classification. What are the types of classification? They are divided into three types. They are artificial system of classification. Only one or two morphological characters for grouping of organism is used here. Flowering and non-flowering plants, Eneima and Aneima is the Aristotle classification. So, artificial system of classification is the Aristotle system of classification which is done in the earlier days. He just classified the animals, organisms into Eneima and Aneima. Eneima is the organisms with red blood cells and Aneima is the organisms without red blood cells. Just like that he classified the organisms during the earlier days. This is called as artificial system of classification and this is mainly based on the two morphological characters, flowering and non-flowering. Okay, and coming to the natural system of classification, it takes into consideration comparable study of a number of characters so as to bring out natural similarities and dissimilarities and hence natural relationships among the organism. Bentham and Hooker classification is a natural system of classification in which it is a comparative study of a number of characters, not only morphological characters but all the physiological and genetic characters, and they come to a conclusion with the similarities, natural similarities and dissimilarities. And coming to the third system of classification, it is phylogenetic system of classification. Based on the evolutionary relationship of organism, in this system, organisms are classified on the basis of their evolution on earth from primitive to highly evolved. Engler and Prandtl classification and Hutchinson classification etc. are phylogenetic system of classification. This classification deals with the evolutionary relationship. So, some organism due to the course of time in earth, they have some adaptations, they have evolved themselves and they have developed their gene expressions. So, these relationship, evolutionary relationship is taken into account in the case of phylogenetic system of classification. Coming to the types of classification system of classification. Depending upon the type of system of classification, organisms are classified into following kingdom system. These are all the following kingdom system. They are two kingdom system. The two kingdoms are Plantae and Animalia, and three kingdom system, The third one introduced is Protista, Plantae, Protista and Animaliae. 5 kingdom system, Monera, Protista, Fungi, Plantae and Animaliae. Here Monera and fungi is introduced along with Protista, Plantae and Animaliae. In two kingdom system of classification, organisms are grouped on the basis of presence and absence of cell wall as proposed by Linnaeus. So, two kingdom classification was proposed by Linnaeus, the father of taxonomy. And three kingdom systems, Haeckel separated unicellular animals, algae and fungi on the basis of lack of tissue differentiation, and new kingdom Protista was introduced. So, all the unicellular animals are placed under one group called Protista in case of three kingdom system, and it was proposed by Haeckel. And 5 kingdom system, it is introduced by R.H. Whittaker, divided all the organisms into 5 kingdom in order to develop phylogenetic classification. So, phylogenetic classification deals with the evolutionary relationship. So, coming to two kingdoms classification. Each and every classification system has its own merits and demerits. We will see what are all the merits and the demerits of all the kingdom of classification. So, in the two kingdom classification, the organisms are divided into Plantae and Animaliae. Plantae consist of algae, fungi, bacteria, bryophyta, pteridophyta and spermatophyta. In case of Animalia, coelentrates, porifera, platyhelminthes, mollusca, nemathelminthes, annelida, echinodermata and chordata are present in the case of Animalia kingdom. So, kingdom Plantae, what are all the features? Cell wall is present, a big central vacuole is present, absorb inorganic nutrients from outside, unlimited growth, autotrophic mode of nutrition, reserve food is starch, no locomotion, absence of excretory, nervous, sensory and muscular system, so response to external stimuli. So, plant cells have cell wall, whereas animal cells don't have, and plant cells have big vacuole present in the plant cells, and they absorb inorganic nutrients. As they are autotrophs, they absorb inorganic nutrients present in the soil and make it into a organic nutrient. They have unlimited growth. Already in the first chapter itself I have told you that plants have unlimited growth throughout their lifespan. They have autotrophic mode of nutrition. They can prepare their own food through the process called photosynthesis. No locomotion. Plants are attached to the substratum. They don't move. Absence of excretory, nervous and sensory and muscular system. They don't have any organ system. Slow response to external stimuli. They have only slow response to external stimuli as they don't have the nervous system. Coming to Animalia, the features are they don't have cell wall, they only have cell membrane. The inorganic crystals present in the case of plant cells are not present in the case of animal cells. They don't have a central vacuole. They have only small vacuoles present, no big vacuole as in the case of plant cells. They don't, this animal cells don't have a central vacuole. Heterotrophic mode of nutrition. They rely on plants for their food. They cannot synthesize their own food. Growth is limited. In animals, the growth ceases when they reaches the puberty. Reserve food is glycogen. In case of plants, the reserve food is starch, and in case of animals, the reserve food is glycogen and fat. Presence of all organ system. All the organ system of system is present in animals. They have muscular system, nervous system, respiratory nervous system and other excretory systems present in their body. Locomotion is present. They can move from one place to another. They have a quick response to stimuli as they have the nervous system. Coming to the limitation of two kingdom system, as it is proposed by Linnaeus, it is called as Linnaeus weakness. What are the demerits of the two kingdom system? Two kingdom system of classification was acceptable to many scientists due to the diversity among the organism and many other limitations. The main weakness are many protozoans possess characteristics of both plants and animals. Example, Euglena. Euglena is called as plant animal as it possesses both the characteristics of plant and animal. So linear system of classification doesn't have a place for placing this Euglena. Bacteria and cyanobacteria, blue-green algae, have many similarities between them and are quite different from other organisms. Thus, it is difficult to place them in their plant or animal kingdom. So, bacteria and cyanobacteria have many similarities and they are quite different from other organisms. So, they cannot be placed along with plant and animals. Fungi and molds are placed under kingdom Plantae, but they possess many characters not common to plants. So, fungi and molds are kept under this kingdom Plantae, but they possess many characters that are not common to plants. So, coming to three kingdom of classification, they are classified into Protista, Plantae and Animalia. The Protista is introduced in the three kingdom of classification to keep unicellular algae, fungi and bacteria separately from plants and animals. So, it is the weakness of Linnaean system of classification. No? So, this third three kingdom system separate those unicellular algae, fungi and bacteria and kept in a separate domain called Protista. Coming to the four kingdom system, four kingdom classification introduced the new domain Monera. Monera has a prokaryotic organism, Protista primitive eukaryotes plants and Metaphyta these are advanced eukaryotic animals and Metazoa advanced eukaryote. So, the Monera consists of the prokaryotes, that is a primitive organism, that these are also unicellular organisms, but they are primitive in nature. And Protista consists of fungi and algae, these are primitive eukaryotes. So, they have true nucleus. This is the difference between prokaryotes and the eukaryotes. So, only the Monera domain is introduced in the four kingdom system. Coming to the five kingdom system. The five kingdom classification is given by R.H. Whittaker in the year 1969 and it consists of five different domains. They are Monera, Protista, Fungi, Plantae and Animalia. Here fungi is separated from Protista and given a new domain. So, Monera consists of unicellular prokaryotes, Protista consists of unicellular eukaryotes, all the protozoans comes under Protista, and fungi consist of all the fungal species, Plantae consist of all the plants and animals consist of all the animals. These fungi, Plantae and Animalia are multicellular eukaryotes. So, what is the limitations of the five kingdom classification? The position of virus is not clear. So, virus cannot be given any position in this five kingdom of classification. Kingdom Protista includes organisms having diverse form, structure and life cycle, hence does not seem to be proper grouping. So, Protista includes all the organisms with the diverse structure and life cycle. So, they cannot be kept in a single domain. Some organisms included under Protista, example dinoflagellates are not eukaryotic, rather mesokaryotic. So, these dinoflagellates are not eukaryotic, they are mesokaryotics. They are in between prokaryotes and eukaryotes. They have both the characters of prokaryotes and eukaryotes. So, they are called as mesokaryotes. So, they have to be given a different domain. Slime molds placed under Protista differ considerably from the rest of the protist. So, molds which are fungi, slime molds, they are kept under Protista, but they have a vast difference from other protists. So, they have this kind of limitations in case of Whittaker kingdom of classification, that is five kingdom of classification. So, the last system is six kingdom system. So, six kingdom of classification classify the organisms mainly into prokaryotes and eukaryotes, and the prokaryotes are very tiny simple cells and they do not have true nucleates. Pro means primitive, karyon means nucleus. So, they having a primitive nucleus. They only have a genetic material and they don't have a well defined nuclear membrane which encloses the nucleus, and they don't have membrane bound organelles in case of prokaryotes. Whereas in eukaryotes they have large more complex cells and they have a nucleus, well defined nucleus that is enclosed within a nuclear membrane, and they have numerous organelles, that is membrane bound cell organelles are present in case of eukaryotes. So the prokaryotes can be further divided into archaebacteria and eubacteria. Archaebacteria is the primitive bacteria that is formed when the earth is formed. So they can withstand the extreme conditions. These archaebacteria are thermophiles, halophiles, basidophiles and psychrophiles. These can withstand harsh environment. They can live in a higher temperature, higher salinity, higher pH, higher acidity and very cold temperature. And case of eubacteria is true bacteria. They are also prokaryotes, but they are different from archaebacteria. They don't have that adaptations to live in extreme conditions. These eubacteria is a evolved structure from the archaebacteria, from the primitive bacteria. These are all the evolved structure which is formed in course of evolution. So they comes under bacteria, and based on the presence of cell wall, they can be further divided into autotrophs and heterotrophs. Autotrophs are plants which can synthesize their own food, and they have a cell wall additional to the cell membrane. Plant cells have cell wall, and moss, ferns and other all plants comes under the group plants. Okay, heterotrophs are the consumers of autotrophs, that is they rely on plants for their food. They are called as heterotrophs. All the animals comes under heterotrophs. All the carnivores, omnivores and herbivores all comes under heterotrophs. And these heterotrophs further divided into fungi and animals. Fungi, protists and animals. Fungi, yeast, mold and mushrooms comes under the group fungi. And based on the cellular organization, animals can be classified into unicellular and multicellular. These unicellular animals comes under protist. They are amoeba and algae. All the protozoans which are unicellular comes under protist. And animals are multicellular animals, example insects, fish, mammals, humans, every other animals comes under the kingdom Animaliae. So this is all about the 6 kingdom system of classification. So with this, this video is over.